What's going on? We back, Goodfellas Sports TV. One time for the one time. Once again, we grinding. Shout out to everybody supporting what we doing, man. And Jameis Winston this weekend had a nasty game, man. He threw multiple picks. And is it officially over for Jameis Winston being a starting caliber quarterback? And is he officially a bust? And I believe he's officially a bust. He's a turnover machine. He was turning the ball over in college. He just ain't really worked out in Tampa Bay. I don't know. Dirk Cutter, he's a good offensive coordinator. I ain't going to say he the best, but, this ain't working out for him. Tampa in the beginning didn't have much of an offensive line. He never really, consistently utilized Mike Evans. And like I said, man, I thought Jameis was going to be a beast coming into the league. And on top of that, he's still bringing some of his off-the-field issues to the NFL from the NCAA, from the crab legs to allegedly groping the Uber lady driver, And, he had a lot of promise coming out of Florida State. They swore by him. And, I think it's official that, he a bust. And, with his attitude and his off-the-field antics, legitimately he could find himself without a job. You know how they do black quarterbacks. You don't get too many chances, okay? You don't get multiple chances, as a black quarterback. And if he does get a second chance after Tampa Bay gets rid of him, which I believe that's what's going to be the process of happening, you gotta get a backup job and work hard. Everybody swear by him. He's smart, but maybe he just got marginalized in the league because it wasn't a fit. In the beginning, Tampa to give him everything. Tampa still don't have a running game. Tampa didn't have an offensive line. They had weapons. They never had the greatest defense. So he was behind the 8-ball from the very, very beginning, dealing with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So maybe he goes somewhere else. He sit behind somebody, get an opportunity, and he can get a second chance. But it's about maturity for him, and it's about, taking care of the football. That's his biggest problem, man. And his release is what bothers me. Ben Roethlisberger have a similar release. He's mastered how to, be quick and do things. But at the end of the day, Jameis ain't the most athletic guy. He ain't no speed option, read option type quarterback, scramble type quarterback. But the thing about it is also Marcus Mariota is not doing too good in the league neither. He's efficient in the red zone. That's when they make it. He's another guy that went to Tennessee. They rebuilt the line. They got some running backs, and they try to get a receiver too. It's just not working out. For them building around Mariota neither. He's often injured. So it don't look like Tampa Bay would have had the right choice regardless. They don't have the resources around him. Well, I don't say the resources. They don't have the resources, or they don't have the weapons around him to make them great. So, it's one thing for us to say Mariota might be a bust, Jameis might be a bust, but ultimately I believe both franchises failed both players. At least Mariota have a defense to hang his hat on, but he didn't have the offense to hang his hat on. But you got other quarterbacks around here like Aaron Rodgers who did sit behind Brett Favre. But he got everything around. He don't have everything around him every year, but he make it do what he do. He's so impactful. And I know he's once in a generational type player, but he's so impactful that he makes up for the deficiencies of the Green Bay Packers on offense and defense. But Jameis or Mariota, they're not that. I think they need everything around them, at least just right for them to be successful in the league. They're not polarizing overall number one quarterbacks. Okay, they can't do what Cam Newton do. They can't do what Aaron Rodgers can do. They can't do what Carson Wentz can do. They need everything to be around them. At best, they could be like a Flacco-esque type quarterback, especially Jameis Winston, where everything around them, the running game is good, receivers is good, then they prosper. But like I said, it could just be a bad situation for Jameis in Tampa. It could be a bad fit. Ultimately, I think it is a bad fit for Jameis in Tampa. All right, I think it is. I think he still could revive himself, but right now, with all the off-the-field antics and his lack of play on the field, I think he's a bust. But, you asking him to drop back and throw, 30, 40, 50 times a game. You got to look at your offensive coordinator, your head coach. At what point do you start using Peyton Barber? At what point do you blame the general manager and, the front office and the owner for missing on Kerryon Johnson and getting a Ronald Jones out of USC who ain't produced, At what point do you get at them for not, getting an offensive lineman in front of them? At what point do you not get at them for building a defense? At what point do you not get on them for putting all these receivers around him to promote more passing, but knowing that you're going to need a threat of a run game? At what point? You can't put the onus on Jameis. The organization has failed Jameis Winston as well as Jameis failing the organization with his off-the-field antics and his subpar play on the field. Period. Jameis Winston is not a quarterback that should be dropping. No quarterback should be dropping back 30, 40, 50, 60 times a game. No quarterback. I know I exaggerate a little bit. No quarterback should be doing that. And that's just a fact. So you asking the quarterback to go out there and drop back 50, 60 times a game and not make an interception, not fumble the ball. No. He should have the ability to hand the ball off at least 20 times a game and dump it off to his running backs at least 5 or 6 more times a game. He should have that luxury. But he doesn't have that luxury. And that's what people going to look at. People going to look at it as Jameis being bad. You know what I'm saying? People going to look at it as Jameis being bad. For real talk. They're not going to look at it as an organization being bad and not putting the players around him. Same thing for Mariota. They're not going to look at it, well, they didn't have an offensive line. They got hit a bunch, or their confidence got shot because they didn't have everything around them. And that's what happens. Like Chris Carter said, if the organization, if the playbook or the system is not right for a player, you will get marginalized in this league. And obviously for Jameis Winston, this wasn't for him. It wasn't the right system, and he gonna be looked at, take the brunt of the blame, and so be it. But at the end of the day, this organization failed him. I don't think Mariota would have succeeded in Tampa Bay. Neither, I don't think too many quarterbacks would have succeeded here. They didn't build it around Jameis. They didn't give Jameis a run game. They gave Jameis, Charles Godwin, Deshaun Jackson, Mike Evans, O.J. Howard, Cameron Brate, when they needed a left tackle, right guard, a left guard, a right tackle, a center. They needed a running back. They got Ronald Jones. He ain't did nothing. He been injured all season. They missed on him. They got Doug Martin fell off. Peyton Barber, he ain't that good. So, the two major sticking points for a quarterback, which is offensive line and his running back, he didn't have those necessities, man. He didn't have them. So you got to look at the overall big picture. You can say, oh, he didn't have the talent, he a bust. But who in the NFL is dropping back 30, 40, 50, 60 times a game other than great quarterbacks that can do that? It ain't, Jameis Winston ain't that type of quarterback. So in my opinion, Tampa helped make Jameis into a bust. But ultimately, the onus falls on Jameis Winston because he is the quarterback. He did go there. He did sign the contract. Okay. They said he works hard. He's smart, whatever it may be. But you got to get on your coach and your general manager and say, look here, man, we need a running back. We need an offensive line. We need this. We need that. And Tampa ain't do that, man. Tampa failed to do that. And it's unfortunate, because I thought Jameis was going to be potentially one of the better quarterbacks in the league, the best quarterback in the league. It didn't work out. They didn't provide him nothing. Defense, offense. The kicker's been missing kicks down there in Tampa for years. So, I think it's best for Jameis to move on as well, too. Move on, get right, and go somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? Try to go to Jacksonville and maybe compete it out there. You know what I'm saying? Or go sit in New England behind Tom Brady and go learn with Josh McDaniels. There's plenty of places where he can go and rebuild himself up. Like the New England can use him. They can build him up. The Packers can use a backup quarterback. Aaron Rodgers ain't no spring chicken. He could build up there for a couple years. And Jacksonville definitely can use him. So him and Fournette, that would be the perfect situation for him. So I think it'll be good for him to get out that situation. But right now, he's officially a bust. Don't mean he can't, come back. Alex Smith was wrote off as a bust, and he came back, and got big contracts and had big playoff wins with San Francisco 49ers and still got another big contract with Washington Redskins. So, anything is possible, okay? Anything is possible for him, man. So, shout out to everybody support what we're doing. Goodfellas Sports TV. Famous Jameis. We talked about him, man. A little bit of Mariota as well. Salute to everybody. If you want to make a donation, that link's in the description as well. Shout out to everybody that do donate. I definitely appreciate it. Definitely got much love for all the brothers and sisters out there holding us down. You can DM me video requests or questions on Facebook. That like page in the description. Join our Facebook group as well. And you can email me business inquiries, video requests, and stuff of that nature or questions you got for me. My email is in the description as well. One time for the one time we gone.